College football isn't just about touchdowns, rivalries, or championship trophies. The traditions truly bring the sport to life. Every school has special moments that fans eagerly await each season, whether it's an unforgettable pregame entrance, a stadium-wide celebration, or a post-game ritual after a big win. These traditions turn ordinary Saturdays into lifelong memories for players and fans alike. What makes college football different from every other sport is the deep connection between the team and its community. Students, alumni, families, and lifelong supporters all come together to celebrate something bigger than the game itself. Some traditions honor decades of history, while others depict school pride, unity, or acts of kindness. 7 best helmets in college football heading into 2026 season. Over time, these moments have become legendary. Fans travel across the country just to experience them in person, while countless young athletes dream of one day taking part. Whether it's a roaring stadium before kickoff or an emotional tradition that brings thousands together, these rituals capture everything. So, here are the 12 most inspiring college football traditions. Game day at Ole Miss starts long before kickoff. Thousands of fans gather under the historic oak trees in the Grove for one of the most famous tailgates in college football. As kickoff gets closer, the Rebels make their way through the Walk of Champions, where they're greeted by cheering fans on their way to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. It's a special moment that reminds players they're part of something much bigger than themselves. The Army-Navy game is something more than we see, and the March On proves it. Before kickoff, the Corps of Cadets and the Brigade of Midshipmen march onto the field in full dress uniform. The ceremony honors discipline, leadership, and service before the rivalry begins. Because every player will go on to serve as a military officer after graduation, the tradition reminds everyone that representing their country comes first. The story of the 12th man began in 1922 when student E. King Gill stood ready to play after injuries left Texas A&M short of players. He never had to enter the game, but his willingness to help became one of college football's greatest traditions. Today, Aggie students stand throughout every home game to show they're always ready to support their team. There's nothing quite like hearing Metallica's Enter Sandman echo through Lane Stadium. As the song plays, Virginia Tech players run onto the field while thousands of fans jump together, creating an electric atmosphere. The energy is so intense the stadium has even registered on seismographs during major games. Since becoming a tradition in 2000, it has grown into one of the most exciting entrances in all of college football. Not every college football tradition is about creating hype. At the end of the first quarter, everyone inside Kinnick Stadium turns toward the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital and waves to the young patients watching from their rooms. Players, coaches, fans, and even visiting teams take part in the moment. Top 10 most infamous chokers in sports history. Penn State's whiteout is one of the most incredible sights in college football. During the team's biggest home game each season, nearly every fan inside Beaver Stadium wears white. The packed stadium becomes a sea of white, creating an unforgettable atmosphere for both players and fans. As the third quarter ends at Camp Randall Stadium, the excitement reaches another level. House of Pains jump around blasts through the speakers, and more than 75,000 Wisconsin fans begin jumping together. What started in the late 1990s has become one of the loudest and most entertaining traditions in college football. Script Ohio is much more than a marching band performance. It's a tradition that represents excellence. Before every home game, the Ohio State Marching Band forms the word Ohio in flowing script across the field. The performance ends with one lucky sousaphone player stepping forward to dot the lowercase I, one of the biggest honors a college marching band member can receive. Before every Auburn home game, fans look to the sky for one unforgettable moment. A trained eagle flies around Jordan-Hare Stadium as the crowd chants, "War Eagle." The flight has become one of the most recognizable pregame traditions in college football. Every Tennessee home game begins with a moment that never gets old. The Pride of the Southland Band forms a giant T on the field, while more than 100,000 fans fill the stadium with cheers. Moments later, the Volunteers sprint through the opening and onto the field. The tradition has been part of Tennessee football since the 1960s. More colleges with most number 1 overall NFL draft picks. Clemson's entrance is one of the most meaningful traditions in college football. Legendary coach Frank Howard received Howard's Rock in the 1960s and challenged every player to give their 110%. Today, each Tiger rubs the rock before running down the hill at Memorial Stadium. The moment represents commitment, teamwork, and respect for everyone who wore the Clemson uniform before them.